So here, proud to now be a part of the Kaufman Realty and Auction team right here in Taylorville. Let my over 20 years of real estate and auction experience work for you. Click my icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome into WTIM, your information station. I'm Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make it all possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In studio, we have Vonna Crowder, Vice President of the Christian County Genealogical Society, and Matt McKinney, Mayor of Palmer. Thank you guys so much for coming in today.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Thanks for having us.
Of course, we got some really cool things to talk about today. It's all about the Harpers Ferry Cemetery Walk. It'll be appearing on May 19th. That's this Sunday, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Lots of ways to get involved here. It's going to be really fun. Vonna, I laid it out for the people right there, but you've been looking forward to this one. I mean, what does it mean to you this Sunday? It's coming.
Well, there's not a lot of things that have happened in the Palmer and Harpers Ferry area. A lot of people don't even know that the history of Harpers Ferry. And so Matt will talk about the reason why we chose that cemetery. We usually do one every year. This is our 18th one. We can't say annual because we didn't have them during COVID, so it broke our annual streak. But this is our 18th one that we've put on, and we try to do some in Taylorville and then try to go to the surrounding areas.
Great. All right. So we want to learn all about the Harpers Ferry Cemetery. Matt, thank you so much for being in here. Matt McKinney, Mayor of Palmer. Really cool. So just describe a little bit of why the cemetery walk's coming to Palmer this year.
Yeah. So when I took over in 21, I didn't know, even living there, that the village owned and took care of the cemetery. And when finding that out, went out there and, some of the stuff had been needing taken care of. And I reached out to Ralph Falconberry, who does all the restorations and cleanings, and asked him if he'd be interested in doing it. And of course, he was all in. So we got a plan together. We started cleaning and restorations last year. He spent most of the year doing that, and it looks really great. And so it was kind of one of those things of we kind of wanted to bring the history back. What a good way to present it, the cemetery walk out there. So it's been a busy year.
Sure. So very busy year over there, restoring headstones and restoring just the grounds at Harpers Ferry Cemetery in Palmer. We had Ralph Falconberry months ago, and he described his business there. I got a really cool business card. I think he's the as above, so below.
Correct.
That's what
Correct.
It is right there.
Yeah, he's also one of our directors.
Great. One of the directors. Really cool person to have in with the Genealogical Society there. But from your perspective there, Vonna, how cool is this going to the Harpers Ferry Cemetery?
Oh, it was wonderful because it helped me decide really quick which one to have this year.
Yeah.
We usually have them in the fall, but we decided that we would have one in the spring instead.
Cool. And then any reason for that? I mean, just more participation maybe in the spring?
Because he had just done it.
Cool. Oh,
and we knew that it was up to snuff and great looking, and we wanted to showcase the work that he had done and the mayor had done, because it's really unusual for anyone anymore to want to take care of any cemeteries.
Yeah, sure. So before we go any further, a cemetery walk, how would you describe this day to the people out there that might not have attended one?
Usually it's just you pick certain people that are buried there, and then you get a portrayer, and they kind of tell their story of what happened in that area while they lived there.
A portrayer. That's pretty cool. You go out and find these people, you try to find a close relative to them somehow?
Actually, Ralph's going to be one of them.
Cool.
He's going to be William Harper, who supposedly had the Harpers Ferry.
Awesome.
And we don't have a lot of history for William Harper, so he's going to be the person that leads you around to the other graves.
Very, very cool. Okay, so they're almost in character there. They have a sense of the time period. I'm sure Ralph has done a lot of work trying to just get a sense of that time period. Do you know any of the things that he's done to try to? Of course, probably a lot of research in there. Have you had any cool conversations with him?
Yeah, I do almost all the research, but William Harper died in 1881.
Right.
So it's really difficult to find a lot of the history. I found a little bit,
Sure.
But he's one of them that was really rough finding any history on, but I felt like it should have a Harper in there since it's Harper Cemetery. Yeah. And he's the only Harper buried in that cemetery.
Interesting. Harper's Ferry Cemetery there. And if Vonna Crowder is having a hard time finding information on these people out there, it's going to be hard to find. I don't know who to turn to next there, but is it just because really, really long time ago, or is it, small population?
There is not a lot of history. Harper's Ferry was just a spot where they changed horses And it was actually the first trading post in Bear Creek Township.
Wow.
And there was a post office, a store, a blacksmith, and the Star Route, which would be like a Pony Express later, delivered mail, and they went from Decatur to Edwardsville, and that's where one of the places they stopped to trade horses.
Very, very interesting. Matt, what kind of involvement did you have with Ralph there? How much did you get involved with that restoration piece? Were you able to see how much he was doing, or did you even get to
I
clean
was
off him?
out there.
Cool.
I check on him all the time. He was out there in the rain, the heat, everything out there, and he was, dedicated.
Yeah.
You can tell he likes this stuff, which is kind of glad I reached out to him. It's a big history thing. That's what I've been trying to get into, is learning everything about, the history of Palmer. And, like she said, it was the original homestead there until, the train tracks came through and they moved to where now Palmer sits.
Sure.
So it's very interesting knowing that that's kind of the area where everything started. But yeah, Ralph, couldn't think of a better person to do all that stuff.
Yeah, what a great person to have helping you guys out here. Aside from cleaning headstones and stuff, that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Did you see any other operations that surprised you in terms of cleaning things up there?
One of the biggest surprises is we found a headstone out there. I'd always seen it. There was like a little concrete circle. That was actually like a 12-foot headstone that had just fell, and over time, over mowing, it just got covered with grass and dirt. So it's just kind of interesting what you find when you really get into, dedicated into cleaning and looking. And so
truly uncovering.
Yeah, we found some neat stuff out there for sure.
Really, really cool. Well, any of the stuff you found be on display at this cemetery walk?
Yeah,
all of it.
Yep, all his cleanings and all that stuff, and it'll be really interesting to, come check out.
Yeah,
one of the families we're portraying, they found a tombstone for one of the children that we hadn't really realized because he was in between the censuses.
Yeah.
And so it's a little boy named William, and we didn't even realize that was part of that history of that family.
Wow. Talking all about this Sunday's Harper Ferry Cemetery Walk with the Christian County Genealogical Society. It's their 18th, and it's going to be a really, really cool one right there. When you find a headstone like this that you guys hadn't had in your files, does it connect one more piece for you? That one specifically, did that make one picture at least a little bit more clear?
Yeah, because in everything we'd seen, it said that he had so many children, but there was only so many alive. But when you try to find the rest of those children, if they don't hit in between the census years, then you lose the names and you don't know if it's a girl, a boy. You have no idea.
Sure. Uncovering a lot of history here while cleaning up this cemetery. For the cemetery walk, it's the Harper's Ferry Cemetery, appearing this Sunday, May 19th, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. slot. We'll talk much more about this when we come back from our short timeout. We're speaking with Vonna Crowder, Vice President of the Christian County Genealogical Society, and Matt McKinney, Mayor of Palmer. We thank them both for coming in today. We're going to take ourselves a quick timeout. Thanks so much to the sponsors, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. You are listening to WTIM, your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
Could you use some extra cash in your savings account? Then you need to sign up for the People's Bank and Trust Save by Spending Roundup program. I'm Nicole Maloli from People's Bank and Trust. Simply use your debit card like you always do, and we will round up your purchase to the next dollar. The extra change is then transferred to your savings account. There's never been an easier way to save. Call 888-PBT-1954 today to find out more. People's Bank and Trust, we put you and your savings first. People's Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Jeff Robinson with Advanced Title Group Incorporated in Taylorville. We are Christian County's only locally owned title company with over 100 years of title experience in our office. Whether you are selling, buying, building, or refinancing your home, farm, business, or land, choose Advanced Title Group. Visit us at advancedtitlegroup.com. Stop in on the northwest corner of the Taylorville Square or call 824-8007. Advanced Title Group, excellence with integrity and experience.
The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation aims to foster, promote, and stimulate economic development, from keeping existing industry and retail businesses successful and thriving to attracting new investment in Shelby County. The Shelby County Economic Development Corporation is here to help your business grow. It also sponsors job fairs to fill positions at existing employers and encourages future entrepreneurs in the Shelby County CEO program. Find out more on the Shelby County Economic Development Corporation by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Now you can buy Blue Ribbon farmer-owned Prairie Farms products in convenient grab-and-go containers. Get your favorite Prairie Farms whole milk, skim milk, premium, and low-fat flavors, chocolate and strawberry milk. Try their new barista-style iced coffee and skip the drive-thru. Plus, enjoy 100% pure Florida orange juice in a handy, easy-to-carry grab-and-go container. Get the protein you need every day with these products from farmer-owned Prairie Farms Dairy. Easy, convenient, and in your supermarket or convenience store.
If you can't afford a new driveway, whether it's concrete or asphalt, it's possible it could be repaired. Jim Stepp, owner of Central Illinois Asphalt in Taylorville, has innovative new products that can save you money. And if you're looking for something better than a rock driveway or parking lot, find out what Jim can offer. Let Jim use his over 40 years of experience to provide you free consulting. So what do you have to lose? Click the Central Illinois Asphalt icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com to get Jim's contact number and save yourself some money.
With over 8 hours a day of agriculture programming weekdays and 2 hours on Saturdays, WTIM AM, FM, and online is your ag information station. Listen by tuning in on air or online, and listen to WTIM Ag podcasts anytime.
Taylorville Care Center offers therapy to help you recover and return home as quickly as possible, with private rooms for rehab to home. Find out more by clicking the Taylorville Care Center icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. We are in the midst of the WTIM morning show. Thanks so much to the sponsors that make the show possible: People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. In studio, we have Vonna Crowder, Vice President of the Christian County Genealogical Society, and Mayor of Palmer, Matt McKinney, talking all about the Christian County Genealogical Society's Cemetery Walk happening at Harper's Ferry Cemetery this Sunday, May 19th. Let's talk a little bit about these times, Vonna. 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m. Are these going to be like three separate goes around the cemetery there?
Yes, it will be.
Cool. Awesome.
We will have, as I said, Ralph Falconberry is going to be William Harper and lead people around just from one grave to the other. And it's a small cemetery, so it probably won't take an hour.
Cool. But
that way you get to spend as much time at each one of them and learn. You can ask questions. You can learn as much history as you would like.
Sure. Okay, really cool. So I want to know a little bit about the preparation behind the cemetery walk. As William Harper, as Ralph Falconberry, as William Harper there, you get the day started. Are you going a headstone to a different headstone there and describing maybe some events that have been taking place? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Yes. Ralph has been quite instrumental in helping me pick the people that we're going to portray there at the cemetery. So William Harper, of course, because it's Harper's Ferry. Then there is Henry Monique, who was a township supervisor. He was an early justice of the peace in 1866. He collected taxes, supervisor, whatever they had back then. Before it was towns, there was townships. Yeah. So he was an early settler there. He came from Germany. Cool. And he landed there because he was one of the people that delivered the mail. Cool. And stopped there and changed for horses. And that's evidently he liked the area, and he came back and met someone and married. And his house, he built a house in Palmer when Palmer became a village, and the house is still there.
Really?
1869, he built the house.
Oh my goodness! Is it still like
or 1876? I'm sorry.
This is still late 1800s.
Sorry, 1876.
Gotta be specific on that. Is the house anywhere near Harper's Ferry Cemetery? People that want to come out, maybe you can drive past.
You can see it from Harper's Ferry. You can drive through town. It's cool. Just right off. It's actually on Monhink Street.
Awesome.
So street named after him. The house is still standing. Me and Ralph actually. We know his family still owns the land.
Okay, cool.
Cool. So me and Ralph got a tour of it, and it's just crazy to be able to walk through 1876 house that's still standing, and
Beautiful
it's just-
brick house.
Anything come to your mind right now? What blew your mind when you stepped in that house? Anything that was still standing in there? That was cool?
his photo still hanging on the
Wow.
wall.
Okay.
So it was kind of like a cool history flashback to be able to walk into a house like that and then see his picture, his portrayal picture up on the wall.
Which we will have his portrait there.
Really cool. Okay, truly a time capsule and everything. Just that you get sent back to that late 1800s in Palmer and this Harper's Ferry Cemetery Walk. It's going to be really special here. It's the 18th one they're holding, and it's happening this Sunday, May 19th, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., and 3 p.m. What else do we miss? How can we make this easier for the people out there?
We have 2 other soldiers
Cool.
that are buried there. There are maybe a handful of Civil War soldiers from the Union, and we have picked one, and that is Clinton DeWitt Taylor. And he was originally from the Stonington area.
Okay.
And there was a large family, and he has several brothers that all joined. And the minute he turned 18, he joined. He actually now, I found the history, and he had 28 acres, which is right directly across the road from the Harper's Ferry Cemetery is where he ended up.
Okay. What was that soldier's name one more time?
Clinton DeWitt Taylor.
Kind of weird, right? Clinton, a city,
DeWitt,
the county,
Taylor.
and Taylor.
Correct.
I don't know, maybe I'm reading too far
Correct.
into that, but okay, yeah. Keep
Correct.
going on
His family was from New York.
Okay.
So
okay,
I don't
strange.
know where the Clinton DeWitt came from.
Okay.
But he was a twin.
Okay.
He was the next. I think there was 10 children in all, and him and his twin were like 8 and 9
Huh, okay. Wow.
in the order.
Goodness gracious.
And then John Ellis, who actually happens to be a Confederate soldier,
Wow.
is buried there. And that's really unusual to find some Confederate soldiers there.
Yeah. Up north, this side, it would be kind of weird. Can you explain that at all? How would they? Maybe they died up here, or
No, his daughter lived in Palmer.
Okay. Okay. Wow. Interesting. Found that out.
Mhm.
Yeah. That was another Ralph find.
Yeah,
Did you
Ralph.
know? Did you know this? I had not a clue.
Yeah, because his tombstone is not a Confederate tombstone.
Okay.
It's just a normal tombstone.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
Another fact there that you're able to differentiate those, whether the soldier is or was not Confederate. That's just a good thing to have in the back of your mind. But even there, making your investigation a little bit tougher.
well, I found a newspaper article that he was killed by a train
Wow.
in Palmer. He had been visiting his daughter in Palmer and was walking home. And because of the war, he was mostly deaf and didn't hear the train
My
and
goodness.
got killed by the train.
My goodness. And where did that, were there an obituary back then, or where did you find that?
Yeah,
from?
it's a big story in
Wow,
the
that's
paper.
obviously-
So that was in 1917.
Okay, 1917, still way back. And all the people out there listening to this, if you wanted to get more information on all this history and just more uncovering of the Palmer area, Christian County, this is so cool. You can attend this Sunday, May 19th at Harper's Ferry Cemetery. We're in our last minute, Vonna. What else do you want
We
people to
have
know?
one more, and it is a woman, and it's Beulah Cotterill Phillips, and her and a group of her friends had a club called the Joats Club, JOATS.
Okay.
I have no idea what it stands for. They took the initials as a secret to their grave. And they actually put on a play at the Palmer Opera House. In case people didn't know, there was an opera house in Palmer.
Wow, we got to figure out what that Joats is, man. That's a great kept secret.
They
right
took
there.
it to the grave
Oh,
with them.
man.
She was the first one that died. She died in 1929.
Amazing. Wow, this is going to be a really important and just special day out there in Palmer with this Harper's Ferry Cemetery Walk. It's going to be a fun one, guys. Really appreciate you for coming in today and talking about
Thank
this.
you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. That was Vonna Crowder, Vice President of the Christian County Genealogical Society, and Matt McKinney, Mayor of Palmer. We thank them both for coming in today. And you can learn more about this website, Vonna, and anything out there, Facebook.
Yes, it's on our Facebook page, a copy of the flyer.
Perfect.
But you can always reach out to us. And we also have an email is ccgs28@gmail.com.
Perfect. All righty. That'll do it for us. This has been the WTIM Morning Show right here on WTIM, your information station.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville.